If you never created a Google search campaign before, this video is for you. I walk you step by step through setting up your first Google search campaign directly inside Google Ads. Hi, I'm Jasmin, and in this video we create a Google search campaign together from scratch, so you can understand what to click, what to choose, and why. So let's start. First, log into your Google Ads account. On the left side, click Create and then Campaign. So here you see different goals. You would usually align the campaign goal with your business goal. For example, if you want leads, you would choose leads. But for beginners, I recommend choosing website traffic as it keeps it very simple. So we will choose website traffic. So now you would need to set up a conversion goal. I already set up page view as a conversion action to measure how many people went on the website. I will explain in another video how to do that. It's just getting a little bit too complicated. So here you will click Continue. And now you will need to select a campaign type. So you have different kind of campaign types. You can do a video campaign, for example, in YouTube. You can do a display campaign along in 3 million partner sites, like a display banner ad. But we will start as a beginner with a normal search ad. And now we can actually paste our website and continue. So now we have to give our campaign a name. I always recommend to choose the campaign type, for example, white search, and then website, and then, for example, January 2026. So now we have to choose a bidding strategy. We have to tell what we want to focus on. So you have different possibilities, for example, conversions, conversion values, clicks. So usually I would recommend to choose conversions, as normally your primary goal should be conversions. But today, as we're doing it for beginners, we will start with clicks, as this is the most easy one. Customer acquisition, this is pretty new. We don't click that. So now something very important comes, the networks. So Google has these things pre-selected, but I recommend you uncheck both of them. Especially Google Display Network we don't want to use because display campaigns work very differently, and as a beginner we don't want to waste any budget. So now choose the location where you want your ads to be shown. For example, when we are a company and we want to show our ads in UK, we would put another location than UK, and now we can actually select that. And if we click here on advanced search, we have some more options. So basically we can put radius, for example, and we can put, for example, London, UK, and then we can choose a radius maybe about 10 miles, and we could save that as well. But to keep it simple, we only leave UK as a country, and here you see the estimated reach of the search campaign. So now we have to click location options, and normally Google selects that, but this is important. We have to change into presence only, because we only want to target people who are regularly in our included location. Otherwise, we will reach people in other locations, and maybe this is irrelevant clicks. For the language, it's the same. We have to select the language our customers speak. So here it's about European political ads. We select no, as our campaign doesn't have political ads. Now we click under audience segments. This is something very nice. So for example, we are an e-commerce shop and we're selling shoes online. So now we can check for example, shoe, and can click maybe this, shoes, athletic shoes, maybe socks as well. So basically you're getting data for all these audience segments, like you can get a more clear analysis if you choose them. And I would choose observation because we won't target for these audience segments now. We only want to observe to get more data. And if you click under more settings, you have some more possibilities. Basically what's important here is, for example, the start and the end date. I usually start a campaign the next day after. We can select an end date or we can leave it open. I leave it usually open. And here you can choose specific times for your ad. For example, if we are a local business, plumber service or something, maybe we don't want to show our ads on Sunday, so we could select that here. So we click on Next. So now we see the possibility of AI Max. This is like a pretty new feature from Google. So basically it helps you with the AI to improve your campaigns. But I wouldn't recommend that for beginners. You can use that at a later time once you have already a lot of conversions, once you have set it up, your tracking. So at the beginning, I wouldn't recommend. So we will click Next. And now we have to set our keywords and assets. We can actually write something about our products or service, but we don't have to do that. We can actually skip. So ideally, you have already chosen the keywords you want to use. So for the keyword research, you can use the Google Keyword Planner. I explained in my previous video how to use this tool. So once you've done your keyword research, you could enter your keywords. For our shoe shop, we would put sport shoes, then buy sport shoes, price, and as well we can do, for example, running shoes, buy running shoes, and running shoes price. So I recommend you start with a small focused list. You can always add more keywords later. So basically you have 3 different match types. You can enter the keyword as a prod match, as a phrase match, or as exact match. But this is something I will explain in another video. To keep it simple, I will leave the keywords like that. And here on the left, actually, you see all the steps and our progress. So now we are under ad groups. We can change the name. I would recommend you change the name to like the specific product. For example, ad group 1 is sport shoes. So we will do that. And now the most important part, we're creating our ads. So basically we want our ads to be relevant, to match the keywords, to match our product. Actually, I always prepare my ad copy before in an Excel sheet. I would recommend for you to do the same. So here's my Excel sheet. I prepared the different ad groups with their keywords. And here under ad copy, I actually organize all the ad copy for the different ad groups. I make sure that I have at least 3 headlines including the keywords, and then having headlines including the benefits, the USP, the characteristics, or the pain points of the product or service. And then I make sure to include as well a call to action. So actually your ad copy should match your keywords and should match as well your landing page. As well, AI like ChatGPT or Gemini can be very helpful for writing the ad copy, but I would recommend to not copy everything one-to-one, just use it as an inspiration. So now we will start with our headlines, like buy sport shoes online. So now we entered all the keywords into the headlines, so this improves actually the quality score and the ad relevance. Then we can continue with the benefits, for example, ideal for running. So I have filled out everything now and I make sure to include a call to action as well, like that, discover our running shoes. So basically I recommend to fill out at least 10 headlines. As well, we added our descriptions. I recommend to use 4 descriptions, but for this tutorial, I only do the minimum of 2. Now I recommend to add assets like site links and callouts. These give your ads more space and usually improve your performance. So the ad gets bigger and users will more likely click on your ad. We start that now. To save us some time, I already filled that out. We click Create. Yeah, and now we're having our site links. And then we're adding our call outs, for example, free shipping, fast delivery, top quality shoes, things like that. Now we click apply. So Google suggests you to add more site links and as well to make the headlines unique, but for this tutorial, we're gonna continue now. So we click on save. So now we get a summary of our ad. It says only average, but don't worry, this is just for that campaign. So for your own campaign, for sure, you will fill out all the descriptions, you would include more site links and things like that. So we click on next. So now we have to choose our budget. Google actually suggested a budget, but don't worry, we don't have to follow that. So one way to choose our daily budget is to have a look at the most expensive keyword. For example, if the most expensive keyword would be like $3, like the cost per click, and we're saying we want 10 clicks a day, we can do 3 times 10, it's 30. So we can choose, for example, $30 a day. Let's just say 30. So for the beginning, you don't need a huge budget. So basically you test first what is working and later you can increase the budget. Then we will click on next. So at the end, we can review everything. Google gives us some recommendations. We can see what was our target, like website traffic, page views, what was our bidding, and the location. So here it finds some policy findings, but I think this is because of my website, because my website is actually linked to another account and this is a testing account. So you would publish the campaign. Click here. So now you can see the campaign starts tomorrow and now you could actually create another ad group. So you can just create ad group and then click the campaign and then you can continue with the other ad groups. So we can do ad group number 2 would be dress shoes. And then we can click next and enter our keywords here as well. If this video helped you to set up your first Google search campaign, feel free to subscribe for weekly beginner-friendly tutorials. And if you ever need help with Google Ads, my Calendly link is in the video description.